Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Wade Watches. I'm Wade. Welcome to another awesome, spectacular, amazing, fresh out of the movie theater review. Where today I just got through watching the Spongebob movie. Man, it's windy out here. The Spongebob movie, The Search for Squarepants. And this was by no stretch of the imagination on like my must-watch list. It was a spur of the moment thing, just because, at least in my area, every showing of the Avengers Doomsday teaser trailer is absolutely sold out, and of course I also mean every showing of Avatar Fire and Ash is sold out. But no hate though, I genuinely do enjoy those movies and I can't wait to review those. But yeah, there was just no shot of seeing that, so I figured, hey, I can connect with nostalgia when it's done right. Why not go check out the latest SpongeBob movie? Because after all, like many people in my age group, like many of us 2000s kids, I grew up on the original SpongeBob. I did go to the movies to see the first and often thought of as the best SpongeBob SquarePants movie when it came out. I remember begging my mom to go and see it and thinking it was the most amazing thing ever because I was a huge SpongeBob fan growing up. And let me just say that I will come out and say right now that of all the animated movies or nostalgic movies that I do rewatch, from my childhood, just because, some of them still hold up really well, of course. The SpongeBob SquarePants movie, and I am talking about the original, just doesn't like hold up as much as it did when I was like, that little SpongeBob fan. It's not bad, but I guess it's just something that I partially grew out of, but it does still have its moments, and there is a surprisingly heartfelt message behind it, so I will give it that. Like, if I were to rewatch it, I'd be like, I can appreciate this message, but it's not really something that I frequently rewatch. However, I do still frequently rewatch the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob SquarePants leading up to the first movie, which you diehard fans out there know was supposed to be the series finale, and they still hold up spectacularly. The jokes still hit, and just the antics and the foolishness and the zaniness and the borderline surreal fever dream tone still work all these years later. And the same can mostly be said about this latest outing. I just went in realizing that, this is no longer the SpongeBob I, grew up with. A lot of people aren't very happy with that. But, I figured that they at least thought that they had to evolve. They at least thought that they had to do something different, and that's up for debate whether it paid off or not. I'm kind of indifferent because, again, kind of grew out of it, and I definitely don't watch like the newest episodes of SpongeBob on Nickelodeon or anything. Again, I just stick with the first 3 seasons because though they still have a charm to them. They appeal to both children and adults alike, whereas the latest seasons, from what the bits and pieces that I sometimes like pick up on, they're always like playing like Nickelodeon on the TVs at my gym. It's definitely just for the kiddies, so I'm not watching like current SpongeBob. So going in, I was figuring this is technically current SpongeBob, so it's probably not gonna blow me out of the water, so to speak. It's probably not gonna do anything to really take me by surprise, but I ended up having a decent time with this one. Now, I will say that it definitely repeats a lot of beats from the first movie. There's this hero's journey, and SpongeBob has a quest to try and prove himself as being a man, not just some bubble blowing kid, which that sounds very familiar to anybody who's seen the first movie. But it does its job. Again, I'm no longer the target demographic for this cartoon, for this product anymore. So I'll say it does its job for the kiddies. Has some moments that I did find funny and entertaining and engaging. Has that, since it is repeating that beat from the first movie, definitely has, a heartfelt, sincere message about how it's okay to, be yourself and not try and pretend to be somebody else, which appeals to everybody. That will always be an important message, even well into adulthood, to be true to who you are instead of trying to be cool, be badass, be something that you're genuinely not. So I respect it, but there's nothing here that got me in the feels. Like, even admittedly to this day, even though I'm not as in love with that original film as I was when I saw it in theaters when I was like 5 years old, even to this day, there are scenes in that first SpongeBob movie that do still like genuinely manage to tug at my heartstrings, because that was the first time they had done that, and that there's definitely more gravitas to that one because originally that was meant to be the series finale, but Nickelodeon was like, hell no, this is our cash cow. But that's why that first movie does still hit me in the feels. It feels like there's just more weight to it. Definitely more heartfelt than this one. This one definitely leans more into the silliness. You don't get any profound moments like you do with that original film. It's all about the silliness. Haven't seen the other two, but again, word around the campfire with the other two SpongeBob movies that we've gotten, they pretty much more or less do the same. Though I haven't heard, like, if memory serves me correctly, people say that the second one wasn't that bad, that it was also, just silly, surreal fun. People seem to not like the third one. So I would say that this latest one, it's definitely like similar story-wise to the first one. And I guess it's also like, leans into the silliness that the second one supposedly does. And that's about all I can say about it. It's definitely aimed at the younger kiddies, but does have some moments that were like, yeah, that's funny. That's entertaining. And, if you have eagle eyes, just keep your eyes peeled for those Easter eggs. You got some Easter eggs in there for the diehard fans and all that good stuff. And you have some moments that definitely do harken back to classic SpongeBob. So wrapping it up, I'm going to go ahead and give the SpongeBob movie Search for Squarepants. I'll do a 6.5 out of 10. There's nothing there to elevate it. It's not one of the best movies I've seen in 2025. It's just perfectly silly, nonsensical, entertaining fun, which at the end of the day is more or less what SpongeBob always was, except that, I guess those first 3 seasons, there is a bit of an edge to it. There is more clever writing in those first 3 seasons, but at the end of the day, it's a nonsensical cartoon about a talking sponge for kids. And I'm not trying to be sacrilegious. I still am a fan of the original cartoon, but all I'm saying is that that's really what it is at its core. So I can't fault the movie for not having, for not being deep or profound for a fully grown young adult like myself. I more or less expected it to be what it was, which is just, I'm going in here just because, hey, I have some nostalgia for this property, grew up on it, been watching, SpongeBob since I was like, 5 years old. No, God, even before that, like 4 years old. So why not? There's a lot going on in the world. Why not escape? And like I said, every showing of Avatar is sold out. So that's what brought me here today. I pretty much got what I expected, 6.5 out of 10. And yeah, that's what it is. Just a silly, nonsensical, good time, mainly for the kiddies, for the adults, for the even more diehard SpongeBob fans than me. I think there'll at least be a handful of moments that invoke that nostalgia in you. So it's a 6.5 out of 10 for the SpongeBob movie Search for Squarepants. Have you seen the SpongeBob movie Search for Squarepants? What do you think? Please feel free to let me know in the comments below. And if you've seen all of the feature-length SpongeBob movies, let me know where this one ranks for you. This has been another edition of Weight Watchers, and I'll see you lovely people next time. Peace.